Wellbeing Wednesdays, and this episode is all about the power of gratitude and how it connects us with high magic and synchronicities, and also how being an empath is actually a superhero quality and something that we all have the ability to feel, and how to kind of use it to your advantage. And I do have another video that goes more in depth about the Empath Superpower, so feel free to look that up if you want more information, but we're going to touch on that today too. So I'm going to start with two of the things that I use in pretty much all of the videos, and it's just a simple little diagram. And it's going to show the energy and the dimensions that are available, as well as how that correlates with Stephen Hawking's scale of consciousness and how we want to pay attention to our vibration and our frequency. Fan was going to blow me away there. All right. Oh, hello. Hey, Emily. Oh my gosh, you made it on. That's awesome. Hi, Barbara. Good to see you. Awesome, awesome. So, and I know many of you have seen this already, but I'll just do this part quick. So this was the diagram that Tesla gave me, and remember, we all have different labels, we all have different ways of connecting and understanding energy. So if any of my labels might not jive with something that resonates with you, then take the pieces that do resonate, and anything that's helpful to you, take those pieces and work with those, because the guides are able to help everybody, and everyone is able to connect with all of the guides that I work with in the source realm and in the high vibrations, and those are different deities like Jesus, Kuan Yin, Buddha, the archangels. When we go into a high vibration, they're able to help us and co-create so many different cool things. And we're really the creators here in Earth School. Let's not forget that. So that's something that a lot of us forget. And a lot of us forget that we're in control of our inner frequency, nothing outside of us. So a lot of people are trained in Earth School to let everything outside of them affect how they feel on the inside. But believe it or not, our biggest lessons, if we can have gratitude for our biggest lessons, we can stay in the high vibration and really springboard off of that energy to a much higher vibration that we would have ever been able to attain if we hadn't gone through the lesson in the first place. So the lessons are actually set up to help us, believe it or not. And that is why you want to have gratitude for everything. Because if ever you catch yourself complaining or different things of that nature, you're in a low frequency, you're in a low vibration. And when you're in a low vibration, you're in a low dimension. And when you're in a low dimension, you're going to keep getting experiences, even if the actors change or the settings change, you're going to keep getting experiences that keep generating the same feelings when you're stuck in the same dimension. And that just has to do with repeating the same behavior. And when we have an opportunity to react differently when the same situation presents itself, we want to make sure that we take advantage of that springboard opportunity. We react differently from our higher self-consciousness and do what we feel is authentic to us and is what we feel is for our highest good, and then we don't have to worry about that lesson affecting our frequency anymore, and we're able to rise in dimension, which makes our whole life experience different. Hey, what's going on, Jill? Yes, oh, I put you on the list. I did already. Isn't that funny? Look at, we have a lot of people on the list tonight. Alrighty. So to jump back onto the little diagram, so here's the scale of consciousness by Stephen Hawking. Everyone can look him up. He's amazing. This is just on Google Images, scale of consciousness. And then I like to pull the one that has the love and the fear showed on it. And let's not forget, the love energies and the love frequencies are enlightenment, peace, joy, gratitude, which is why we're going to talk more and more about the gratitude and how to access the synchronistic high magic dimensions, where you don't have to think about it, you're just in the flow. And let's see here. So the fear dimensions are judgment, blame, complaining, any sort of victimhood, or apathy, guilt, or shame. Any of those energies will put you in a lower dimension, and those dimensions are full of experiences that just keep repeating things that bring those feelings to you. So that's why it's so important to recognize your internal frequency and then make a choice. Believe it or not, happiness is a choice. It's not something that is unattainable for anything happening outside in your world. And it's really funny because my friend and I have been playing with this a lot, and it's really true. And we really can control our mind space, and we can create happiness and peace in situations where other people might be freaking out. But there's opportunity in every time that you feel like you might be, let's say, at the bottom of the rabbit hole, or that things seem like really like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm stuck in this situation. Believe it or not, if you feel stuck in any way, all it means is that you have dense energy in your body, in your aura system, and you want to do something to raise your vibration. And when you're able to feel whatever is going on, whatever is triggering you, whatever is bothering you, if you feel into when the first time you felt that, and what is the fear that you're really afraid of, when you really face it, usually it's not anything that's even valid in the now moment, and you realize that it's nothing more than a fear. And when you change your vibration, you change your dimension, and you change the outcome. So that's the coolest part. And I've been doing this now for, I would say, a good solid 6 months of like continuously just paying attention to my internal frequency all day, every day. And things are getting really epic. So it's really, really awesome. Oh, yes, I can pull a card for Jess too. Let me add her to the list. And Sammy, absolutely. Perfect. And let me just scroll down on here real quick. Oh, yes, of course, Kim. Happy to. And, oh, hey, Alyssa, what's going on? Let me know if you would like a card. And let's see here. Oh, so let me get back to Tesla's little diagram here. And when we have the consciousness, excuse me, the scale of consciousness with the Hertz frequencies, Tesla gave it to me in a little bit of a different way. He just gave me like a 1 to 10 diagram just for our human consciousness to understand. But remember, anything, like our guides are like right here. It's just in a different dimension. And we can hear them through our mind's eye. And when we daydream, that's actually meditation. So anyone who's logged on who feels like they have a hard time meditating, if you can daydream about anything, then you're meditating. Excuse me. So changing your environment. So Beth just asked, does changing your environment help too? Yes and no. So a lot of times our higher self will set you up, or set ourselves up, so that we have an opportunity to react differently to the situation. So you can change the environment, and that's what I meant by setting. But if we don't change our internal frequency, then we're going to keep experiencing that same feeling because we're stuck in the same dimension. So we'll talk about the dimensions now. So if you have a 5 dimension, that would be a neutral. So 1 would be a low dimension and 10 would be a high dimension. When you're looking at the Hawkins scale of consciousness, above a 5 would be more love energies and below a 5 would be more fear energies, for lack of a better term. So you have every possibility, every dimension exists in Earth School. So we are from Source, we are light in frequency, and we come down to Earth to have an experience in an avatar suit of consciousness. We have a piece of our consciousness come down, but we always have a base, that's the higher self, in light and frequency and Source. And we come down to Earth and we go through Earth School. And in Earth School, every dimension exists, every possibility exists. So what happens if you have a 2 dimension, that's a lot of the news media, it's a lot of the fear-based things going on right now. It's people that gossip, anyone who is not trustworthy, things of that nature. And then 5, like I said, is neutral. 6 and 7 is when you pay it forward for coffee, my favorite example. I love this. And then the people behind you pay it forward and everyone is so happy, and it might cost you like $5, including the tip. Oftentimes I'll give like a $5 tip and just watch them freak out too. It's so much fun. So remember, we can spread joy anywhere. And it can be the little things, and sometimes the little things are the biggest things. So it's really all about your internal frequency. So your setting does not have to change for you to change your internal frequency. And the guides had me do that within the last 6 months when I was really paying attention to my internal frequency. I was still around certain situations that before would have really bothered me. And I was able to maintain my own inner frequency, which therefore made the experience not personal, and it didn't bother me as much, or actually at all. which is kind of funny. And we get into the habit of things that are familiar. So if something used to bother us all the time and now it doesn't, sometimes we'll think, oh, well, I don't want to go back there. But then we remember it's really not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And if you have an opportunity to change the environment, you're welcome to do that too. And every day we have an opportunity to create our own mind space, and our mind space does not have to be reactive to our environment. So that's the biggest trick of staying in gratitude, is being thankful for everything. The car breaks down, check out where you are. Are there epic picture taking opportunities? Oftentimes there are. So you want to just kind of look and shift your perception when you get your lessons. That's really what this is all about. When you shift your perception in the middle of your lesson, you can rock Earth School. It's like you can like really springboard off of it. So when we have a lesson, if we dip down here, okay, and let's say we're feeling yucky, if we're able to release that and find gratitude for whatever is going on and replace the yuck feeling with gratitude, we shoot way up here. And 10 dimension is when everything is synchronistic, everything is flowing, there's no effort. You automatically think, hey, I don't know why, but I feel like I want to bring my license with me, but I'm only going for a run and it doesn't make sense. And then you go for a run and you end up seeing your friend, and your friend is like, oh, my husband's band is playing, do you want to come? And you're like, oh, I don't know, I was just running. And she's like, oh, it was outdoor and they just did all this stuff and it's not like a big deal, it's very casual. And then you end up going, you have the most epic night and you have fun with your friends. So different things like that, whereas if you didn't have it on you, maybe you wouldn't have gone. But it's like you follow that intuition in the now moment. If you I remember a long time ago I had a boyfriend, and every time he would go to work, he would grab something random off the bureau, and it would be like a wrench or just like fishing line, like something random. And I would always ask him, I'm like, so did you end up using it? And he'd always be like, yeah, you're not going to believe this thing happened, and the only thing that was going to save it was fishing line. And it was just so funny. So we can all access it. It's not just for people that practice spirituality all day every day. It's literally for everybody. Everyone can access this. This is part of our human birthright when, you know, we come down to have a consciousness experience in Earth School. We can access all of these gifts. We're just told and trained that we don't have them. So if we believe that we have them, belief and intention is what sets the dimension. That's a really good one. That's Katumi. He rhymes everything, and I wish I wrote that down. Jill. I'm just kidding. I love you. So I will write that down when I watch this later. And let me see. I think, oh, no, I did answer that already. Okay, so what happens is when we're in this dimension, everything in this dimension, just like a card reading, so you're in this dimension, you're in a low vibe, you do a card reading, you're only going to follow this dimension out to the end. That's all you're doing. So the best thing you can do is you can check in with the card reading, and then what you want to do is you want to do something to lift your vibe, figure out a way to re-perceive the situation to find the gratitude in it. And I usually try to find at least 3 pieces of gratitude so that every time it comes up, I have 3 things to pull on to change the internal feeling. Your internal feeling that's what dimension you go to. So if you feel sad often on the inside, you want to work on that, and you want to work on loving yourself, and you want to work on releasing any of those dense energies, because all the dense energy is down here and you'll feel stuck in your journey. But if you can rise above and start releasing all of the wanting to fight, all of the wanting to feel victimized or angry or anything of that nature, or feeling hopeless or anything like that, we are creators. We create with our feelings. Try it as an experience, listen to me. I wanted to say experiment, but they change my words a little bit sometimes. And really, if you just try it for a week and just pay attention to your internal frequency for a week and keep it in a high vibration, you'll notice your baseline change. Your baseline is going to go up. And you're going to notice the synchronicities when your baseline goes up. And the synchronicities happen in all different ways. And it's amazing how there is no fear, because you know in the now moment exactly what you need to do. And you don't question it. And I'll be honest with you, you don't know why. So if I'm going to leave and go do something and I'm like, I don't know why, but I'm going to bring, you know, a notebook or just anything like that. So I bring a notebook and, you know, I'm out in the middle of the woods and all of a sudden, you know, I'll get like this huge download and I'm like, oh my God, thank God the notebook is here. And then I'll just start writing it down and drawing what I see or whatever it may be. It's rhyming again. Anyways, so we don't know always why we're doing what we're doing. When the guides told me that my time at corporate was done, I didn't know why I was doing what I was doing exactly when I was doing it, but I did it and it worked perfect. Like, it could not have flowed any better. And if I had tried to figure that out with my mind, there is no way I would have had that flow sequence. So what happens is a lot of us think that when we're accessing high magic, we're controlling the magic. But that's so funny, because trying to control the magic and not relying on your intuition and your higher self would be lower magic. So relying on your intuition and relying on love energy as opposed to control or force energy. Love energy is how you get the miracles and the healing and how you achieve joy all day, every day. And you still feel stuff. You still feel stuff. I still cry. I still like have emotions and stuff, but I don't stay in it. It passes over like the river. I feel like a lot of these videos are starting to repeat a little bit, but that's all right, because it's good information. So when you're the river and the lesson happens and you're on the rock, you go over the rock, the rock doesn't tell the river it's a victim. The river's like, oh, later, dude. And it just keeps going. So it's like, you want to recognize if you're stuck on something. And if you are, and if you're feeling victimized or if you're feeling angry, you want to release that so you can keep flowing, because you don't want to stay down here. And that is how being an empath is a superhero. When we feel other people's energy, the biggest thing, and I don't know how this got so confused in Earth School, but the biggest thing is the first thing you do is you say, that's not my energy. If you turn the news on and they have the Sarah McLachlan commercial on with the crying dogs, that's not your energy. You don't have to take it into your energy system. So you have to understand that when you're feeling it, it's like, oh, there's something on the planet that needs high vibe energy. So instead of matching it and going way down here and bringing yourself down to that dimension. So if you have a friend who's really depressed, instead of bringing yourself down to their dimension where everything is going to feel stuck and everything is going to feel kind of sad and kind of isolated, you want to lift yourself up and be like, oh wow, I can feel that there's something that's not mine and that's kind of wonky, so I'm going to lift myself up. And oftentimes we don't have to tell them what we're doing. You can light a candle, you can even light a candle esoterically in your mind and just lift your own vibration and be like, well, that's not my energy, but I'm going to send good energy, because ultimately the whole earth realm is lifting up in vibration. Gaia is lifting up in vibration. So that's how Golden Age comes in and the dense energy falls out. But guess what? To get the dense energy out, we have to feel our feelings. So that's why there's no fake positivity. It's not about that. It's about being really, really real with yourself and really real with your people, and saying your authentic truth and living your authentic truth and having gratitude for the entire Earth School experience. Because when we're light in frequency, we don't have some of the same senses. We don't feel the same. So there's so many different things that we can enjoy down here, but we're trained to think that it's like a bad place to be. But it's only a bad place to be if you perceive it to be a bad place to be. Since COVID happened, my life has been epic. I'm not going to lie. And I know that there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's not that I don't feel for them, and it's not that I don't send them good energy and lots of healing and lots of candles, and I work with Archangel Raphael, and I'm doing the mirror cleansing and all of these things. So it's not about ignorance, but we don't have to live in a low vibration if we don't want to. And pay attention to what you talk about most, because that is setting your baseline. What you think about most, what you believe, is setting your baseline, and that's going to tell you what dimension you go into. And I'll be honest with you, I teach things from my own experiences, and living up here is 150 times better or more, okay, infinity times better than living down here no matter what. So if you notice yourself trying to control things, or trying to say, well, I want this particular thing, I want this, I'm going to do a thing so that I get this particular thing because I only want this thing, you're not in flow. That is control and resistance to what the universe wants to give to you. So whenever you ask for anything in the universe, you don't want to force, you want to allow yourself to receive what is for your highest good. So we can put in requests, but if they don't work out the way we think that they're going to, and we stay in the flow and we don't get resistant and we don't dip down in vibration because we're sad that we didn't get what we thought we wanted, when we stay in that high vibe, we get the feeling of what we really wanted, because the human brain can't tell what's going to really generate the feeling that we're looking for. A lot of people will think money is going to generate the feeling that they're looking for, and then they get the money and they realize that the feeling's not there because it comes from inside. So that's the coolest part about this, and we can all do it. There's no trick to it. Everyone accesses their enlightenment at different times, their awakening at different times. So, and we can't judge anybody who still has a lot of dense energy, but we want to make sure that we understand what we're doing and we understand how the dimensions work so that we can control our earth experience to the best of our ability, which is really just allowing ourselves to be in the flow of what's for the best and for the highest good. I can't even count how many things happened in my life that I would not have planned on, but I just went, and I went with the flow, and I noticed where I was resisting, and I just kind of went for it. Even the videos, the gallery style mediumship, I would have never done that. I was scared to death. So there's so many different things that when we just go with the flow and we just try things and we allow ourselves to change, then we allow ourselves to access our higher self more and more and more. And when your higher self can really take over your earth experience, you can't be triggered by anything. Nothing will trigger you. But it's a process to go through the feeling, healing, and releasing. And remember, you cannot get stuck on the rock. If you notice yourself really stuck on something and you've thought about it multiple times and you feel really yucky about it, then you want to try to allow yourself to release it for highest good. Release it for highest good. Understand your higher self set it up on purpose. There's nothing happening in Earth School that can hurt you unless you believe it can. And that is the truth. Even cancer and all that kind of stuff. And it's really crazy. But I've lived it, and it's true. Like, I don't know what else to say except I lived it, and it's all true. And what I share with you guys is true. And I was scared to even do these videos and share any of this stuff because I was like, that people are going to think I'm crazy. But I don't care anymore. But it's really important that we all understand this because we're all waking up together. And there's no race or anything like that. Oh, hey, what's going on? Yeah, Tracy, you've got a card. Good to see you. Woo. All right. So let's see. I'm going to go back to my notes here and just make sure I didn't forget anything. Oh, one thing that is really, really helpful. My friend and I were putting together like some gratitude points that we could all do to just really solidify those higher dimensions where everything is in the flow. And you feel like you're always in the know when everything's in the flow. You're like, oh, that just happened. That's interesting. Huh, I wonder what else is going to happen. But then all of these epic, awesome things end up happening, and you're like, wow, I can't even believe that that was my day today. And it would have never been something your human mind would have come up with. So remember that. Your higher self has way cooler things on the agenda. So now this part, what was I going to say? What did I just say? Oh, the 3 things that you're grateful for. So if you start out your morning, every morning, in a really high vibe and name 3 things you're grateful for. So even if you are homeless or anything like that, you can still have 3 things you're grateful for. So if you're in New England, you're grateful that it is warm outside. If you have any food, you are grateful for that. You are grateful for anything that you find along your journey, like different animals and different things that are nice and kind. And there's always little things to find. Oh my gosh, Katumi rhymes everything. It's really funny. He just says something. Anyways, so the other piece of that is, let's say, I remember back when I had like a very, very low amount of money and I was kind of worried about different things, and I started doing the gratitude practice, and I remember I brought it down to literally like, I have hot water. I have a stove to cook food on. When you can bring it down to like the really simple things in life and really appreciate them, then you can really start setting your baseline up here. The attitude of gratitude is no joke. You can literally change your life if you just start appreciating everything that's going on around you. And also appreciating your own authenticity and the ability to say no and the ability to carve out time for yourself. That's another big piece of keeping your baseline high. I feel everyone needs a little bit of alone time where they can focus on loving themselves and doing something that fills them up with joy, that's like their thing that they really love to do. So make sure that you incorporate that into your day as well. It's true, Barbara. All right. So the next thing is our feelings. So our beliefs create our feelings. Our feelings and that internal frequency projects us out to whatever dimension that we're going to go to. And when that happens, a lot of times most people just kind of automatically go to the different dimensions. They don't really think about it. So in the morning, after you think of 3 things that you're grateful for and you're in that high vibe, then actually feel the feeling, daydream about the feeling. And just like if you picture what you want to eat for food tomorrow night, and if you can't picture it, picture a big steak, medium rare actually, with a lot of garlic on it, and some mushrooms and onions. Anyways, that's what I'm having after this. So, when you picture the food, can you actually picture what it looks like? Can you picture what it tastes like? Have you ever smelled the smell of it before? So if you want to manifest something that you've never experienced before, imagine what that feeling would feel like and put yourself in a really high vibration. It's going to help send you to the dimension where you're going to experience that feeling, and those things are more possible. When you think of something and you say, oh, but that's never going to be me. Like my friend and I were joking around about vacation. And when she first got here, I was like, oh yeah, we can totally do that. And then later on, I was thinking about a few other things and I was like, oh, I don't know if I could do that. And then I was like, wait, no, I could totally do that. It was really funny. So if we talk ourselves out of things, we literally go to the dimension where we're not able to go. So you want to make sure that you understand what's going on with your internal frequency. Steak. Ooh, shrimp and lobster. That sounds good too. How about all of it? Surf and turf. Alrighty, so the other thing that I've done before and I've had clients do before and it works really well is if you're looking for something in your life, focus on the feeling, not the physical attributes. So when people were looking for partners or different things, I used to say, make a man list, but not their physical features. You can, but if your best, highest match where you would have the most fun and the deepest connection and everything is in flow and everything just working, then they might not have the same physical feature that your human mind might think that you would want them to have, because we don't always know. So you always say what you want or better, and when you're making a list about the perfect job, it's what you feel like in the job. It's what you feel like in the relationship. And that brings you to the dimension where you're allowed to experience it. So that is the biggest thing, and that's why having gratitude is a superhero power. And I'll be honest, every time that I'm single, I get so excited about being single that I just end up meeting a bunch of people. And then sometimes I decide to be single, sometimes I don't. But do you know what I mean? It's like if you have gratitude for every stage of the journey, you leave yourself open to experience the high vibrations for whatever else is coming in your direction. Alrighty. So now the next piece of this was, pay attention to everything you feed your mind. If you feel like your baseline is low and you're sad, I probably would not watch sad movies or listen to sad songs. You want to pay attention to what the song generates inside of you. So you could be listening to some really crazy heavy metal and it could be generating tons of joy inside of you, or it could be generating tons of rage. You want to be honest with yourself. Everyone's going to be different. One person might get rage, another person might start laughing because they remembered falling off the top of a mosh pit. That's what happens to me. I remember that from the espresso bar. It was hilarious. Honestly, it really was. But so I'll laugh when I hear that song. But everyone is different. So everyone has a different experience and a different belief around everything here, just like everyone has different labels. Tesla has given this information to other people too in different ways too. I mean, I'm not the only channel. There's tons of channels, and everyone watching this is a potential channel if they want to be. So it's really, and it's never stressful, but we can all just access all of this information. And it's really fun, and it's actually really, really fun to live in the upper dimensions and doing the co-creation. It's really cool. And let's see. And nothing outside of you can change your dimension unless you allow it. So most of us, whatever is going on in our life, we start the day good, someone calls, they're in a bad mood, we go down here, then we're already down here, so then we trip on our way somewhere, so then we might go down here, and then maybe we get a good message from someone, so then we go up here. You know what I mean? So it's like you want to pay attention so that you're not yo-yoing with whatever Earth School is doing, and you're in control of your vibration. So that's the superhero power of the gratitude and the high vibration, is that you control your dimension as opposed to letting everything outside of you control your dimension. And you control your dimension with your emotional frequency, not trying to control all of the details and other people and circumstances that are out of our control. So it's a really nice flow. Alrighty. And I think I covered all the important pieces. Oh, always remember to remove could, should, would, have to, need to, any of those words. If you notice yourself saying them, you want to remove it, because those are dense energy words. That means that you're doing something that's not in line with your higher self. So if you say, I don't want to do the dishes, break it down and pay attention to everything that you're thinking and speaking. So I don't want to do the dishes. Well, I used to say stuff like that, and then I really thought about it, and I don't want to have a big mound of dishes that are smelly and dirty, and I enjoy clean dishes. So I actually want to do the dishes. And when you change your words to I want to instead of I have to, I can't believe I have to do this thing, then it gets better. It feels different. You start retraining your subconscious energy in your body, and your body reacts different. Your body gets excited about the suds and doing divination in the suds, and it gets excited about having the clean dishes because everything feels good when the energy is all set, and you love your dishes, so you're excited that they're going to be cleaned off. And you can really change your perception about everything, and that's just a very simple example, but we can apply that to anything. Alrighty. And I think I did it all. Oh, another thing, when we're going into gratitude, we want to make sure that we're not, as we're letting the outside world, dictate our happiness levels. I go outside every day, so a lot of people let the weather really affect their energy. And just remember, all weather can be beautiful, and all different seasons can be beautiful, and everything that you're experiencing in Earth School can have a positive thing to it. So if you don't care for the rain, check out the fog. The fog is really pretty, or different things like that. So you want to just really focus on, not allowing yourself to say, oh, my glass is only half empty, and really be like, wow, I'm so happy that I have half a glass of water right now. So it's really all about doing it inside of your own mind space, and we're the only ones that can do it, and you can't buy a book on it to do it. You can't go to a person to do it. It's all us. We have to do it. And I do offer readings to help people along the way, but ultimately I could give someone readings until, the cows come home. Is that still a word? I think people say that still. I'm now my grandmother. Anyways, so, but I could give people readings forever, but if they don't do the internal, paying attention to their frequency, then they're going to always end up yo-yoing, because we don't have to yo-yo. So that's the coolest part. So that's, long story short, we don't have to yo-yo. And being an empath, you don't have to yo-yo. You just have to recognize it and be like, that's not mine, and not feel guilty that you're not taking it in. That's the biggest, weirdest thing in Earth School right now, is people feel bad if they don't take on other people's negative energy. And I'm like, what is going on? It doesn't make any logical sense to me, but A lot of things in Earth School don't, and that's okay. Because it's changing. And it's changing for the better, and more light is coming in. So you want to remember, don't match the energy. Rise above it. If you have a lesson, don't let the lesson set your dimension. Rise above it. And you don't even have to rise above it just one dimension. If you can find gratitude for it, then you get to go up like 5 dimensions. Like, that's so cool. That's non-linear dimension moving. You don't have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just go 1, 5. I have a video on linear versus non-linear too. Sorry, I'm bringing up a lot of different things in this. But basically, you don't have to do all the steps. That's the coolest part. When you're in the flow energy, you can get out of linear thinking. You don't have to do this and this and this to attain your goal. When you're in the flow, you set the intention, you set the internal feeling, and you just go to it. So much easier. So much easier. And I think that is it for that part. And now I will be doing the cards for people. So I will read off everyone I have for cards right now. And hello, hello. I'm so glad that you were able to make it on, Allison. And we have Stevie, Barbara, Donna, Jane, Beth, Lisa, Faith, Rebecca, Emily, Louise, Jillian, Kathy, Jess, Sammy, Kim, and Tracy. Did I get everybody? I think I got everybody. Anyone else who wants a card, just let me know, and we will do that. And I brought unicorns, which are high vibe energies. Unicorns are all full of innocence, and they're very like white, pure energy. I mean, they're all different colors, but it's a long story. They're very pure. So if somebody is in a low vibe, then the unicorn energy wouldn't be able to reach them. So a lot of the really cool magical things that we can do, especially for anyone who's studying any sort of magic, if you stay in a low vibration, you're going to encounter low vibration ghosts and entities and beings. If you allow yourself to raise your vibration, then you can work with archangels and the Pleiadians and the Arcturians. You can work with unicorns. You can work with, I mean, there's fairies all the way up and down on the scale. But you can work with the high level vibration fairies if you want to. I mean, there's just so many different energies to work with. And when you work in the flow energies, they're all helping you. There's no like, oh, I thought I was going to want this thing and then I got this backhanded weird thing over here. There's none of that. It's just all flow. It's all flow, truth, integrity, and it really just, how do I say it? It really just feels awesome. And I wish I could teach it to everybody, and I'm trying. But it's something that we all have to learn how to do on our own. But we can all get different tools everywhere. We all have bits of the piece and bits of the puzzle. And there's, I like to say it's like the giant Earth School scavenger hunt, and we all have different pieces and different puzzle pieces, and we bring them together and we're able to figure everything out. There's not one person, I believe, who knows everything, and I think we can all access everything that we need to know and all grow together. Oh, you guys are so cute. Yay! I know I need Scribe. Scribe! Jill! Oh, I love you all. Alright, so we'll start with the unicorn cards. I also brought the moon cards as an amplifier too. And they're the moonology, so it's the moon with the astrology. Alright, so the first one is for Stevie, and Stevie got light. See the light within yourself and everybody else. So this is a beautiful card. And it's so true, and Stevie is full of light and love and amazingness. And don't forget to see it in yourself. That's what the guides are saying with that one. And we're going to pull one of these moon cards for you. And you got a win-win outcome is in the forecast, full moon in Libra. And that's so funny. So the moon isn't full right now. We just got past the new moon. But it is in Libra, which is kind of funny. And that's the card for this one. And this is really just saying that if you see the light in yourself and everyone else, then a win-win outcome is assured. And because you'll be in the dimension where they're possible. So let's not forget, when we allow dense energy into our mind space and into our heart space, we block ourselves from miracles, because miracles are in the higher dimensions. All right. And the next one's going to be for Barbara. Ooh, Barbara, you are gifted. You are very intelligent and talented. So let's not forget that you have so many amazing gifts and spiritual gifts as well, and they're all awakening, and you've been discovering so many more things about yourself and your connections, and just keep vibing up and up and up, and keep working with Archangel Michael, and he'll continue to protect you and help you along the way. Hi, Louise. Oh, Libra, not zebra. Got it. Oh, that's funny. So Louise got meditate and, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, this is so funny. So I said hi to Louise, and I was going to pick Barbara's moon card, but this is actually for Louise. So did you see how that happened? It's okay to go with the flow. And if this was me in my financial planning career and I was going to be doing a presentation, I would have stopped myself and said, oh no, this one has to be for Barbara, but this one's actually for Louise. And Louise, I'll do another one for you later. But this is meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces. So it's allowing yourself to receive information. So remember, to receive information, we need to turn off our mind so we can hear it. So when our mind keeps going, we can't hear what our heart is telling us. Alrighty. And for Barbara, did I just do both of yours? I think I just did, but I guess we're going to do another. This is so funny. I'm not crossing them off. And when I channel, I don't always know. But this is true and authentic. And like I said, if I was doing a financial planning presentation, I probably would have stopped it. I would have done it over. But this is real life. This is authenticity. This is how it works. So it says, you'll know in the morning when you wake up, you'll have a better idea about what to do. Relax until then. And as I was reading this, they actually showed me the whole thing about how I picked Louise's card, but I was trying to get you the moon card. So when we relax and we allow ourselves to receive information, we can receive anything that we want. So if there's anything that we think is really important and we don't want to forget, don't go into a dense energy and say, oh my God, I'm never going to remember. You want to be like, oh, I'll remember when I need to. And then you'll stay in a high vibe so that you can. Oh, you just wrote about the moon card. That's so funny. So it says, look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. So whatever it is that you're contemplating about, you want to take your perception and think of it big picture. And think about why your higher self and all of the different actors and actresses came down to have this journey with you, and what it is that you are trying to figure out, and look at it big picture without any emotional attachment, and see what you observe. So that was from the guides. All right, the next part is for Donna. So Donna's unicorn card is next. Ooh, Donna got decide. It's time to clearly make a decision about what you want. And that card is very, very direct. So the guides don't have a lot of extra on that one. And remember, anybody who is watching this in any time or space, anywhere, at any time, there's no time on the other side. So if you're watching this and any of these readings resonate with you, your guides can work with you in many different dimensions all at the same time. So if it resonates with you, it's still valid for you, even if it has a different person's name attached to it. All right. And for Donna's moon card, you got, what do you need to release? Waning moon. So the biggest, most important thing coming up right now for us to release, for our gifts to come in, and for our golden age energies to really come into the body and into the DNA, is the belief that we can survive without the dense energies. So I've noticed that when we hold on to fear of any kind, it really prevents us from growing. So this is saying, and the guides are saying, release any dense energy. Find the gratitude for anything that you feel any sort of fear around, and release it, and you'll notice things starting to flow a lot better for you. Alrighty. The next one is for Jane. Ooh, Jane got decide as well. So Jane, it says, it's time to clearly make a decision about what you want. And you also got the you are gifted too. And it says you are very intelligent and talented. So these are the two cards that came out for Jane. And for your moon card, you got new moon in Capricorn. Your hard work is paying off. So new moon is a manifestation card, and it's all about bringing in new energies to you. So stay in the dimension where you believe it's possible. Oh, yes, April, absolutely. Hello, hello. It's so good to see you. Let me put you on the list. I should probably start crossing people off as I do this. Get a little organized. I said should. Did you hear that? See? I have to call myself out too. Alrighty. Next one is for Beth. And Beth got, it's okay to be different. You don't need to be like everyone else. You're perfect just the way you are. And this is so true for everyone. We're all really coming into the ability to be our true authentic selves and really express that. You know, I'm one person. I no longer have like separate personalities in a corporate scene, in a dance scene. You know, I'm one person everywhere. We can all be one person everywhere, and we can be authentic with everyone that we're around. And you also got, what do you need to release with the waning moon? And you got, it's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. So those are any deep, passionate, dense energies. It's really important to allow yourself to feel them, to heal them. Find the gratitude for whatever it was that happened, and springboard off of it, as opposed to letting it keep you in a lower dimension in any way. And a lot of us have subconscious energy keeping us in low dimensions, and I will say that I've had it holding me back for a while in many other different areas until I learned how to really release it. And oh yes, I can definitely do a card for you, Allison, no problem. Alrighty, so it's just about allowing ourselves to release it and not hold on to it and not feel bad about it. Alright, and the next one is for Lisa. It's for Lisa M. And you got creative. And it says, draw, paint, think, and act in creative ways. And this is beautiful because when we are creative, we're able to turn off our mind and really access that internal heart knowledge that we all have. And you got, what do you need to release? And the end of a tough cycle approaches. So these are the two cards here. And the guides are saying to just let go and let it flow and let your guides help you figure out an outcome. Because sometimes we don't know, and that's okay. So here's the biggest thing about having gratitude. Have gratitude that you don't know the outcome, because the outcome is forever changing. Everyone's energy is changing pretty much every now moment. So any outcome is malleable. It's completely, we can create all sorts of different things. And the next one is going to be for Faith. Ooh, you got simplicity and love. And it says, put your energy into the basics and let go of excess. So just focus on your internal frequency and really just start there. Start with yourself and just really observe your thoughts. That's from the guides, because I know that you've been doing great strides and, you know, working through different energies and connecting and different things like that. So allow yourself to simplify and just break it all down to the basics, because connection is actually really simple. We end up overcomplicating it with our minds. I know I overcomplicated it for many years, especially when I was stuck in Ghost Realm. Well, connecting with the lower energies on the other side, long story, other video. But all of that is completely changeable too. We control our entire Earth experience, including any experience from the other side. Our energy controls the whole thing. And you also got love, and the answer you're seeking is love. So you want to love yourself, and you want to love others, and you want to make sure that you love yourself enough to speak your truth, and speak it kindly. And we always train everyone how to treat us. And your moon card for today is the energy is gaining momentum. So whatever it is that you're working on, it's building and building. So are you building something that you want to create into fruition, or is this something that you want to dismantle with gratitude? And only you know the answer to that. Hey Faith, I just got you. I just read your cards. I hope you saw it. I'm like talking to you over here, but you're actually over there. I'm learning. See? See? All right. Next one is for Rebecca. Oh my. So if there was anything that you were thinking about, the answer is definitely yes. And you got happy surprise. Something very good is about to happen. That is so cool. Such a cute card. And for your moon card, you got your hard work is paying off and a personal issue reaches resolution. So that is exciting for you. And the guides are saying for you too to keep going with the flow and pay attention to that internal frequency, because that's going to dictate how the surprise is perceived. And Emily is next on the list. Ooh, we got some jumpers. Oh my, you got 3. You got exercise, run, walk, swim, or otherwise move your body. This will give you more energy and happiness. And let's not forget too, if we have any dense energy in our aura field, especially subconscious, I do this for subconscious energy all the time. The way I like to dance is very bouncy. So I will bounce dance. And when we jump or bounce, we literally start moving all of our energies, and we actually start moving some of the dense energy out. We're able to feel whatever it was that was stuck in there, so that we have an opportunity to heal it and get it out. And the next one is talk about your feelings. Tell a friend how you feel. And they're saying to be really honest and authentic with everyone in your life right now, because we are all in a energy where people are starting to really be themselves, and never be afraid to be yourself and speak your truth to anybody, and all in the family and all of that. It's okay to be you, as long as we're kind. And love heals fear. And it says the power of your love can help bullies and angry people be less afraid. And it's true. So when we're kind, believe it or not, we're leading by example. And sometimes even if we don't see their reaction, it is still affecting them, because you can be very powerful and still be kind. There's a lot of power in not reacting and allowing yourself to fly off the handle. That's where true power is. So I'm not saying that Emily is flying off the handle. I meant that in general. Emily is actually a very, very calm person, in my opinion. Very, very serene, very balanced. But they're just saying to allow yourself to really just speak your authentic truth, and don't be afraid of it, because they said sometimes we make mountains out of molehills in our head. I know I have. And for your moon card, you got meditate and contemplate. It's funny. I love it how a lot of cards will repeat, even if I shuffle the deck and move the deck around. So meditate and contemplate, and the answers will come to you as to how you want to do it, and allowing ourselves, a lot of times, like let's say that we have a tough conversation coming up, oftentimes it will have it in our head, and we'll make a mountain out of a molehill, as opposed to just flowing and let it naturally come out. And when we let it naturally come out, our higher self is there, because we're not stressed and we're in a high vibe, and we can hear our intuitive ways to communicate. And the Mercury is in Virgo, so this will help any communication too, and this is for anybody. Alrighty, the next one is for Louise. And Louise got teamwork. You got work with others to make this situation come about. So whatever it is that you have going on, we want to be a team player and work with as opposed to against. And remember, there's a big difference. Power versus Flow is a great book. And it really shows the energy of, and you can actually think of Tesla's diagram that he gave us, with the love energy that's flowing versus the dense energy that's stuck. When we force, it's all stuck energy. When we flow, it's all flowing energy. And when we just allow ourselves to be in the power of flow. So the power of gratitude and the power of flow is how we access miracles, and how we access amazing synchronicities that our human mind would not have come up with on our own. And the guides had me repeat that a bunch of times tonight. So it goes into everyone's subconscious, because that is how we master Earth School. And surrender to the divine is the moon card. And then we have Jill. Jill, you got love heals fear, and definitely yes. And that just fell out. You can see it better on Instagram, but that was really funny. So the power of your love can help bullies and angry people be less afraid. And definitely yes. Ooh, and you have another one kind of sneaking out here. Try something new. So whatever it is that you are thinking about right now, the answer is yes, and try a new approach. And kindness always heals. And it heals ourselves. So here's the biggest thing. When we choose to be kind as opposed to react in any way, and Jill's really good with her reaction. She practices a lot of this stuff at the same time that I do. And as we're talking about it, a new start is coming, new moon. So whatever you're working on, you're already in the vibration. You're already going to that dimension. But, oh, I forgot what I was going to say. Anyways, that's really funny. I'm going to watch the replay and be like, oh, that's what I wanted to say. Oh, you're welcome, Jill. But there was a point. But just like I said earlier, if it's important, it'll come back when it's supposed to. Alrighty. And emotions are running high. Oh, that's really funny. So yeah, so Jill and I both work with our internal frequency often, and we really pay attention to what dimension we're in. And I'll be honest with you, as you start getting to the higher and higher dimensions, you're going to notice more and more, not only synchronicities, but colors seem a little more vivid. You're going to notice more rainbows. You're going to notice more lightning bugs, more different magical type of things in Earth realm. You're gonna notice it. You're gonna see it. You're gonna have animals coming closer to you than normal, like wild animals, but in a kind way. And it's very different than the lower dimensions in Earth School. It's really, really cool. Oh, you got it. No worries. Oh, thank you. I don't know what the rest of it was I was gonna say, but you were with me doing some of this, so you already know. Alrighty. Now the next part is for Kathy. And for Kathy's card, you have 3 as well. Simplicity. Oh, you got 4. Simplicity, curiosity, hello and goodbye, and you gotta know, because the definitely yes is upside down. So with the simplicity, put your energy into the basics and let go of excess. Curiosity, start a project related to something that you're curious about. Hello and goodbye, you'll soon see that this change will make things better. And they're talking about, oh my goodness, I thought it was definitely yes, but it actually says best friends and it's upside down. So whatever that means to you, and it's always saying that whatever it is that you have in your mind, you can always turn the best friends right side up, but also notice people's energy and the energy that you want to be around, and if it's high vibe or low vibe. And that's what the guides are saying. So if it's low vibe, if you're in high vibe, and this can, best friends can be anyone that we're, associated with or in contact with on a regular basis. If you're in high vibe, then we can raise our vibe, and then oftentimes they're able to raise their vibe and meet us. But if they're not able to meet us, it's also okay to make change. So that's what the guide's message is with that. Alrighty. Now the next one is for Jess. Oh, I didn't do your moon card. Give me 1 second. Let me just do Kathy's moon card. Time to breathe out. So this is a beautiful card, and it's just reminding you to breathe. And whatever situation you have going on right now, remember that when we get stressed, we tend to hold our breath, and our breath helps our consciousness and helps our connection. So allow yourself to breathe. So the next one will be for Jess. Jess also got hello and goodbye, so there's some big changes coming. And you got healer. You have the power to help others heal. And you are a dynamic example for people. And the guides are saying that you can help people heal in many different ways. So not only with physical energy, but also with leading by example and being the powerhouse that you are, and staying kind and humble. And that's how we rock it here in Earth School, and you're doing a great job. And for your moon card, You got don't let your past hold you back. And they're saying new you. And this new you is an amazing healing teacher just by being you. So that's really awesome. And now the next one's for Sammy. It's warm in here today. So you got, you'll know in the morning, whatever it is that you are thinking about in this now moment, time and space, and change. The changes you are going through are positive. So remember, no matter what is going on in Earth School, it's because our higher self wanted us to go through this experience. So we can rock it by reacting differently. And the guides really want me to explain this, and it's funny because it's already 9 o'clock, but I'll just explain it quick. So when we are going through our life journey, the life journey we can look at as a spiral. So here's our life journey spiral. When we're going through the spiral, we have an experience that happens and it creates dense energy. We're going through our life and then we get an opportunity to react differently. When we do not react differently, and this is a lot of humans, we can get stuck in loops forever on many different things. Sometimes we get stuck in subconscious loops, but it's just really cool when we pay attention to everything going on inside of our headspace and inside of our frequency, because we can bust out of all these loops. So when we react the same that we've always reacted, we get stuck in a loop, right? And then we're not able to continue on the highest good journey and get into the upper dimensions where everything is flowing and awesome. We get stuck in these low dimensions down here where it's like the same thing keeps repeating. So like I was saying to Beth earlier, the setting might change, the environment might change, but the feelings keep repeating. Even if the people change, the feelings keep repeating. What is going on, right? So what you want to do is when you come up here and you get an opportunity to react again, because the guides are going to always give you opportunities to react, and my battery is running out. But what you want to do is you want to react different so that you continue flowing on your spiral and that you don't get stuck in the loop. Getting stuck in the loop is like getting stuck on a rock in the water. That's for the river analogy. It's pretty much the same thing. Okay. So basically what we're all learning how to do is to feel to heal so that we can continue on our journeys and continue to spiral up and up and up in frequency. And then when you do a reading, check your energy, figure out where your energy is at, and then do something to release dense energy up your vibe, redo the spread immediately, and check in with what you did to change your energy. It's really cool. And then you'll prove to yourself how the cards are reading the dimensional energy, and it's a lot of fun. And you can help other people do it too, because I know that you love to read cards and do readings and stuff. So if you ever wanted to take that approach, it's really awesome. And I do it with clients all the time. And it's amazing to watch them change their energy and to watch the cards confirm that their energy is shifted and that their timeline has shifted. And then they end up staying in the high vibe a lot longer too, and they end up staying in that dimension longer, because the more practice we get, the higher vibe our baseline is, and it's where we stay the most often. So let's not forget, we're up and down in dimension all the time, but we have a base that we kind of go up and down from, and our goal is to get our baseline up at a 10 or higher. Oh yay, I'm glad you saw them, Faith. Awesome. All right. Oh, and Sammy gets a moon card. And you got New Moon in Virgo, one of my favorites. And it says, a time to give rather than take. And what the guides are saying is it's time to nurture yourself. And I know that you're always busy and you're nurturing others, and you're very good at that. But don't forget to nurture Sammy, because you deserve it too. Alrighty. And the next one is for Kim. And Kim, you also got love heals fear. The power of your love can help bullies and angry people be less afraid. So let's not forget the power in silent kindness. It's It's amazing, and it really does work. It really, really does work. And the guides are reminding you not to forget that we train people how to treat us. And they're saying decide. It's time to clearly make a decision about what you want. And then when you decide what feeling you want to create inside of you, follow that feeling. Follow the intuitive guidance around that feeling, and you'll be surprised, because when you start following that intuitive guidance, it really gets rid of a lot of the fear and a lot of the dense energy, because we're now very much in line with saying yes when we want to and no when we want to, and we're very much okay with it. And for the moon card, you got don't let your past hold you back. One moment. So whenever you think of anything that's ever happened in your life before, and it could be 10 minutes ago, we don't want to make the event 10 minutes ago give us a belief that programs our feelings to think that that's what's going to happen every time. So it's really important that we pay attention to that, and that we set our belief system all the time and not base it on the past. All right. And then we have Tracy. Everyone's getting the same stuff. All right, so Tracy got love heals fear. The power of your love can help bullies and angry people be less afraid. So lead by example and be the loving, nurturing person that you are. And the very soon is upside down. So they're suggesting doing it soon. And they're saying what you're asking for will happen soon in a happy way. So you want to believe that it's possible. So whatever it is that you're working through with this energy, you want to set the feeling inside of you that it's already harmonious, and then that energy will come in very soon. And they use the word harmonious. And the moon is in Libra, so it's a great energy to work with to bring in harmony and balance. And for your moon card, hey Spark, do you want to make an appearance? This is Sparky. She is amazing. She's very good with energy and all sorts of stuff. Say hello to everybody. Okay. She was not a big fan of that. Alrighty. So for the moon card, you also got it's time to release any sort of negativity. So anything that either makes you sad inside or frustrated or anything like that, go back to the first time that you felt that, feel through, heal, release, and you'll notice things starting to flow really well for you. Oh, yay, thank you. Yes, that's Sparks. Sparks is very connected to the other side. She's actually left spreads for me with regular playing cards before, and they were accurate. It's really crazy. She's a lot of fun. Let's see. So the next one is for... Oh, I just did Tracy. Sorry, Tracy. Oh, my goodness. So how funny is that? So it's time to release negativity was for Kim, and for Tracy, you got what do you need to release, but it's a different card. So I love it when the guides do this to me. I'm like, wait, what am I talking about? So we have this one for Kim, it's time to release negativity, and for Tracy, what do you need to release? So it's also talking about, is there anything else that you're holding on to that will make life more flowing if you release it? And it could be anything. It could be thoughts, it could be physical things. And for Kim, it's just saying anything that's creating that dense energy to feel through and heal it. Alrighty. And then we have April. And then we have Allison, and then I think that's everybody. Oh my. Okay. Well, April, yours are a jumper. Okay. So it says, listen to your true feelings. Don't let others talk you into doing something that you know is wrong. And by wrong, it's just anything that doesn't resonate within your internal frequency. And teamwork. Work with others to make this situation come about. And look, there's a kitty, just like my kitty. It's a little different, but still cute. And then you got brothers and sisters. So now the teamwork, and the reason why they brought up the cat, they're jumping it back real quick, and they're saying that when you work with the Bast energy from Egypt, that's really going to help you in your journey. So I don't know, April, if you've ever worked with Bast before, but she's a great energy. So feel free to connect with her because she is reaching out, and that's really funny because I haven't worked with her in a really long time, but she is a lot of fun to work with, and she's great with alchemy, really, really good. And that's lighting candles and colors and a lot of the stuff that you already do. And brothers and sisters was upside down, and it says to get along with others, see the love, and see the best within them. And remember, everyone in our Earth School journey is like brothers and sisters of soul family. So we want to remember that everyone that we ever come in contact with or encounter, on the other side, we're probably like kindred spirits all together. So we want to make sure that we don't react too much to their human self here, and that we stay in the kindness. Hey, April! Yeah, Bast! And let's see. And you got take time to breathe out. So remember, the Egyptian cat, yes, her name is Bast, B-A-S-T. And when we want to take time to breathe out, and we got this one earlier too, but this is when we get stressed, we tend to hold our breath. I don't know if anyone ever noticed that. I've been in sales for a really long time, so I remember like there was many times where I was kind of holding my breath in different spots, and I didn't realize it until I started doing more breath work and being conscious of it. So it's very interesting to see how our body automatically reacts to certain things. So when we pay attention to it all, we're able to really unlock even more. So it's really awesome. The more in tune we get with ourselves, and we're able to get in tune with the universe. That's really how it works. Our heart is like an access to the radio waves of the source universe. So like Tesla says, a lot of people listen to the radio, or they'll use microwaves or do different things, and they can't see it working, but they believe that it works. So if you believe that you are connecting, then you will be able to connect. If we don't believe we can connect and only other people can connect, and that we can't connect, then we hinder ourselves in our connection. Yay! I love cats too. I love them so much. They're so amazing. All right. Yeah. And then we have Allison. Ooh, you got a definitely yes. So whatever it was that was on your mind is a definitely yes. And you got imagine you are gifted and very soon. So the, and the family culture is upside down, but that's up to you if you want to bring it right side up or not. Sometimes the new modalities that we're bringing in is a little bit different than traditional culture, and that's okay. And we can still be kind and still be our authentic selves in the process. So it's whatever it means to you. And they're saying that you can put it right side up by being your authentic self in the process, regardless of whether it's the same as others or not. Because really what's happening for everybody is we're all creating our own way. It's our own way of connecting. You can get a book of symbols and you can memorize all of those and tell your guides those are the symbols you want to use, or you can create your own book of symbols with the guides and use those. It doesn't matter. That's the coolest part. We all have the ability to do all of this on our own, and then we can all help each other along the way. And then the you are gifted says that you are very intelligent and talented, and you got very soon. So things are coming to fruition very soon, and what you're asking for will happen soon in a happy way. So if you stay in the vibration that you're in and you release any fear or doubt, then that is what is coming in for you. And the next piece of it is a new start is coming. So that's another confirmation for you. So a new start is coming. Awesome, awesome. So I think, oh, you're so welcome. And I think that was everybody. So I hope everyone has a great day. And remember, being an empath is never anything that is hard. It is awesome. We just recognize, oh, hey, that's not mine. Remember, make that a part of your day-to-day practice, because we all run into people who have all different energies. Notice when it's your energy or not, and then disengage. Even if you love the person, you don't have to take on their energy. And it's true, you don't have to. That's a choice. And a lot of people don't want to take that responsibility in Earth School and realize that it's a choice, but it is. So happy choosing. And happy observing, and enjoy the shift up in dimension if you decide to take the challenge. And for a week, pay attention to everything that you're feeding your mind and everything that you're speaking, and you're going to notice a big shift. And you're going to notice the type of things you want to be around or not want to be around as you start to raise your baseline. Yay! Oh, you're welcome. You're also welcome. And everyone have an awesome night, and thank you for joining in, and we'll have another fun one next week. Have a great day.